We're back on the IMDb boat, man. It is IMDb at San Diego Comic-Con 2018. And look, out in the harbor, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's Supergirl's cast. Give it up for them, ladies and gentlemen. I know these people not just as a fan of the show, a deep abiding fan of the show, but they've been kind enough to let me come up and play with them a few times. So this is a little inside baseball. I like all these people. Generally, I interview people, I'm like, I don't know how I feel about them. I like all these people. But before we jump into Supergirl, last time I saw you, I was in New York, and you were not flying, you were on Broadway.
Yeah.
Flying in a different way. Tell them about it.
He came to my opening night. He came
Opening
to
night
my
of
opening
Beautiful.
night.
She's in Beautiful, the Carole King musical.
Yes.
And, you know, you're a theater kid. Before you were doing this stuff, flying around, you were a theater kid, and I assumed that, like, oh, she'd done Broadway before.
No.
But I was sitting next to Chris Wood, and he's like, this is her first night.
Yeah, it was my
First-
Broadway debut.
How's it been? Now, you've done like a month or more of shows since I saw you. How's it been? You were amazing in that opening night.
Phenomenal.
Everybody went as well?
Yeah.
Like, you were absolutely phenomenal, and especially knowing what I knew, which is like you finished shooting that show minutes before. You were in New York for like half a minute to learn everything, and then boom, you went out on stage.
Yep.
Spellbinding, and what a voice you have. And it was like you were pitch perfect in that show. How's it been going?
I'm literally having the time of my life. I feel so cheesy when I talk about it, but like my childhood dream is coming true, and I was such a musical theater geek growing up, and like living that out every night, 8 shows a week I couldn't be happier.
Congratulations, man. It was awesome to see. And I was sitting next to a dude who was like in tears. Chris Wood had
He was
tears
crying.
streaming down his face. I cried as well, but this dude was bawling, like just flat out, like, I'm so proud of her. It was really, really awesome. Okay, let's talk about the show. You guys head into 4 or 5? Season 4.
Four.
Season 4. And just before you were here, did you do a panel today?
Yes.
This just come from the panel.
And is this the panel where they just announced our friend who is new to the show, so we should address this?
Yes.
Let's talk about this. Give it up for Nicole Maine. She's new to Supergirl.
Yeah.
What's going on? Somebody give me some background. Who are you playing?
I guess it is fitting that I answer this question. I play Nia Nall, who is going to be the first trans superhero on television.
She's making history.
I like that
my
too.
Lord. Congrats. And they just announced that today.
Just today,
Wow.
yeah.
Yep.
About like, I don't know, like half an hour ago. Yeah.
That's
Yes,
fantastic.
this is like breaking news.
And breaking news, it's also breaking molds. Like, this is massive. How did this happen? They come after you?
I've just been doing, like I said on the panel, I've been doing a lot of auditions lately because a lot of shows are getting into introducing trans characters into their cast. Because this is such a hot topic issue right now, and it's so important in our society and in our world. And you know, it seems fitting to have a trans superhero, and Supergirl stepped up, and I stepped in.
Beautiful, man. It's a show that has always championed diversity of all kinds, so
Yeah.
wow, it makes sense that another spoke gets added into the wheel with this show. And also, from what I understand in the CW universe, the addition of Batwoman is going to come up in the crossover event. And we, you know, in the comics, she's a lesbian character, so boom. Speaking of lesbian character, you lost your bestie partner early in this last season and whatnot. How's it been being solo Sandvers at this point for all those Sandvers shippers? Do you miss Mags?
Well, you know what that last day was like.
It was emotional.
It was very emotional. And you know what? I actually didn't see Flo until this summer when we did a convention out in Blackpool, and it was emotional then as well. But it's been a great journey still. I think the one thing to remember is Alex is still on a journey. It doesn't mean that if they're not together that she's not still a lesbian.
Right.
It doesn't mean that she's not going to discover more about herself.
We saw that in the crossovers with
Yes,
Katie
exactly.
Lotz' character. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's been a great journey. You know, it's still a process, and you know that's going to be a big part of this season for Alex, is just kind of really discovering who she is, not based on who she's with.
Right.
You know what I mean? And surrounded, like in general, where Jean is not in the DEO, and now Alex has stepped up into that place, and then Kara's going to be doing more reporting. So it's kind of like she's sort of finding out her place and how confident she feels in that and where she's gonna go next.
I've told the world, and I think I've told you guys many times, like one of the reasons I fell in love with the show was the relationship between you two. Watching all of season 1 with Alex and Cara made me go like, oh, I had a sister, but I really missed out by not being a girl with a sister, because that relationship looked very fun. I called my sister and I've been like, we did it wrong. I should have been a girl, you know? So
That
I
was
love.
my exact thinking growing up.
Oh my God, it's amazing. Yes.
Oh my God, I can't top
Where do you
that.
go
That was
from
phenomenal.
there? There's
The
nowhere to
timing
go
was
from there.
impeccable.
Good
But
night, everybody.
Thanks, Kevin. It's been great. Thanks.
it's true. Good night. We George Costanza it and go. As a big fan of the show, one of the things I loved last season was you got to do a very tender storyline, David, with Carl Lumley, who I know, of course, is the voice of John Jones in the Martian Manhunter, in the Justice League, and the cartoons and whatnot. But they did something really cool on the show and let you guys have this relationship where he slowly slipped away. Essentially, they did an Alzheimer's storyline.
Yeah.
It was beautiful, man.
Thank you, thank you,
Congratulations.
thank you. It was very touching to do because you know that's how my father unfortunately passed away.
Is that right?
Yes, and I told Carl that, and so every time we got together and did those scenes, there was a real kind of he stepped up, and it was great to work with. He's such a wonderful, generous, honourable man. And all those scenes were just a pleasure to play.
And did I see somewhere, did you direct or are you going to direct this season?
I'm going to be directing 419.
Are you really?
Yes.
Oh my
yes.
God, that's phenomenal. Is that the first one you've ever directed?
Yes, it is.
Are you the first cast member to step into?
I think I am, yes, but I think there'll be several more after this. And
No
we're all gonna
doubt.
start
Once they
queuing up.
see you do it, they go, oh, I'm in. I always tell everybody on those shows, like, once you got to like season 4, you know you've got some time under you, you're safe, you've reached a safe place. Direct before you leave. It's just another skill to take out there. And actors, first-time actors and actresses, always make wonderful directors. They sit behind so many directors over their career, they aggregate a style. That's going to be fantastic. Good for you.
I'm really excited about it. Really excited about it.
I can't wait.
I think we're gonna have fun.
And then you should direct 420, obviously.
Wah, wah. Why would you
What a
say
great
that?
idea! Oh my God, yes!
That just happened.
I have to direct Supergirl 420.
Yes.
I wonder what they'll talk about in that episode. I want to. I come up for episode 408. That's I think the mid-season finale. So I'll be seeing you guys. What are you on right
We
now?
can't
while you're
wait. We
shooting?
can't. We're shooting out of order right now, so we're doing 40 because Melissa's being brilliant on Broadway.
Yes.
We're doing 404 right, 403 right now, then we do 404, then we do 401 and 402.
So did you all come in from Vancouver and you came from New York?
Yep.
Yeah.
How much longer are you in New York? How much longer can they
I have
see you on
2
Broadway?
weeks left.
2 weeks.
And then I go right back to Vancouver
Go
and
see
shooting
her.
2 days later.
Go
Is it
see
going to be
her. It's
weird
amazing.
when you get on set? Are you still going to be
No,
singing?
I'm so excited.
No,
I
she was
probably
always singing
will.
Anyway.
Right.
I'll just still be wearing the Carole King wig and
And it is, that wig, you weren't wearing it, it wore you.
yeah,
it was
it's
so
pretty
big.
big.
Jesse, let's talk to you. This is the first time that you've been on the boat with us. Last season was the first season for Brainiac, and then we found out that Brainiac was sticking around, man. You're essentially the new Jeremy, for lack of a better description.
I'm my own man.
You are your
All right.
own man, damn it.
Those
How's
are shoes that I can never fill, so I'm not even gonna try to.
No doubt. The character Brainiac, though, beloved from Legion of Superheroes and whatnot, you've been playing it now for a full season. As you come to Comic-Con, are people like, hey, you brought my childhood to life?
Right. Well, I mean, not really. I don't know. I'm not in the blue makeup right now, so I think I kind of like blend in. That's why
Right.
I'm wearing a Legion shirt and ring right now.
So you're like, look at me.
I'm like, I swear to God, I'm on the show. It's actually funny.
Finally made it.
For the first like 3 or 4 episodes, no one knew what I actually looked like.
No,
They
we
only
never
knew
saw
me
you
as
out
the
your-
blue
Oh,
guy.
all these cats.
Yeah.
Because he would get there at like 4 o'clock in the morning to get the makeup on, and then we wouldn't. It took like 2 hours to take off.
And then like,
So
and
none
then
of us
once
would
I'm
see
out of the
him.
makeup, I'm gone, right? So I remember there was one day where I was out of the makeup and I just came to the set and stood around there just to see if anyone would notice. And
Who are you?
yeah, you're like,
Security.
I'll have a
There's a
sandwich.
kid
Can I
here.
get a-
I was like, I'll have a jasmine tea, thanks.
Yeah, and then I went and got the tea for him. So yeah, it's you know, it's fun to now not be in the makeup, but I love doing that just the same too. It's like putting on another skin, and I get a kick out of it.
How was it coming into a family that's been up and running? Were they welcoming, or did you get shunned a lot because of the makeup?
It couldn't have been better. Like, these guys have been so great and welcoming, and everyone on the cast and crew has just been so amazing that it was really awesome and easy.
Katie, how are you? Katie McGrath.
Katie McGrath.
Katie McGrath.
Yeah, I'm never going to live that down, am I? This is why I never corrected anybody in the last 10 years. I was like, it's fine. You can just all say my name.
One day on set, I was like, Katie McGrath, and they were like, you don't say that. And she was like, it's not McGrath, it's McGrath. So
I
from
tried
then
to
on.
tell her that we shared a similar last name. I'm like, I'm Wrath, and you're McGrath.
Right.
And she's like, that's not how you pronounce my name.
And she's like, who's the weird kid in the makeup? Get him out of here.
Give me a jasmine tea.
Katie and Makata, it looked like this season, I was there for the beginning of it. They started putting your characters together, and it created an interesting dynamic in as much as, like, I have to keep a secret from Kara, I have to keep a secret from Kara, and oh no, that's going to affect our relationship. But by the end of the season, correct me if I'm wrong, it feels like they're taking you toward a direction of, like, maybe that's how Lex started not liking Superman. Do you think they're going to turn you slowly into a villain?
I think Lena's her own woman, and she has her own storyline completely separate to Lex. So I think we need to start looking at her as Lena Luthor, not Lena Luthor's sister of Lex.
Right.
So who knows what's going to happen? I don't know. I mean, I do know. I'm just not telling you.
So how is Lex?
Couldn't possibly tell you. Family secrets, guys.
Strength in numbers.
Strength in numbers.
At the end of the season, you were unmasked. You unmasked yourself. Going forward in the episodes you've started so far, do they continue that storyline? Are you now out and proud as a superhero in town, or have you stopped being Guardian?
I think there's a bit of both happening, and I think there's some fallout that happens from it. Also some unexpected support. And but I just want to say that, you know, as a writer's room and as a show, I feel extremely proud that we were woke enough to put racism in the cultural context of bullying where it belongs, right?
Yeah.
So I just feel really proud about that. And you know, I'm looking forward to, you know, fighting some crime with no helmet on sometimes.
For once.
Yeah, for once.
So not being the person that's sweating. What was one of my favorite things was they had to record his voice for when, you know, they shoot the scenes. The voice you can't use because there's no microphone in the helmet and stuff. So after we were all done shooting a scene where you were not playing Guardian, they brought in the Guardian helmet, and they were just like, Makad, can you do the voice?
Talking to the helmet, yeah.
And they brought the boom over, and I'd never seen it before. And Makad talks into the helmet so that it has an echoey effect.
Really?
You've never seen it?
No, I've never seen that.
I had no idea.
What? You're always on set. You're like in every scene. It was adorable. He talks in the helmet and it bounces the sound back out and stuff like that. It's pretty sweet.
It's really, yeah, it's like a conch. Exactly like a conch, yeah.
I look forward to coming back and working with you all. Honestly, like
We're so excited.
I do. One of the things when I almost died of the heart attack, I was like, oh no, I won't be able to get another Supergirl. I get one more chance. Man. Means the world. So we got a new Supergirl trailer. I guess you guys, whatever you showed inside the San Diego Comic-Con, we're going to take a look at right now as we head off and whatnot. Before we go, though, I just want to give it up for the cast of Supergirl. Love them so much. You guys are phenomenal. Check out the trailer for next season of Supergirl.
It's starting.
I am an agent of liberty.
This is my home. And my mission is to protect it.